Hello. Stopping in to say hi. Been a while. I thought I would check it, stop in and see how everyone is doing. I am just connecting to my phone. I am on YouTube and on Facebook, so if someone can let me know where I am and if both are working, that would be lovely. But I'll give it a minute for people to join in. And let's just see what we have. Hello. It has been a while. and I do know people are not getting notifications, so I know that's happening. So we'll see if we get anyone in here this evening. I just wanted to stop in and just see how everyone's doing, checking in. Hi, Sylvie. I'm on Facebook, waiting to see if we're on YouTube as well. So if I have anyone here that's on YouTube. Hello, Kristen. And there's Carlene on YouTube. So we are up and on YouTube. We loud and clear. Yay. And Linda, hi. Carlene, I hope you're doing well. I've been following your journey. Even if I haven't been able to comment much, I was away. Was in Newfoundland. All right. Felicia, hello. Mandy, hi. So we're just letting the rooms fill up a little bit here before I continue. Yeah, Carlene, that's a long healing journey. We're just also thankful and happy that we have you still here with us. And you are a trooper to go through such a big major surgery and then end up with a cold or flu or something on top of that. I still can't get used to not having Sid making her snoring noises in the room. I actually had someone stop in today, a young gentleman that comes and collects bottles and cleans my yard and shovels snow. And he's had a new job and I haven't seen him. And he come in and he's looking for Sid. And he's like, "Where's Sid?" And I'm like, "Sid is not here in physical form no more." Yeah, it was one of those moments. One of those moments. I'm Robin. Is it Robin Etta? Robin Etta from Michigan. Hello, welcome. Okay, so tonight I'm just stopping in. It's been a while since I've been in. I have been away. I was in Newfoundland for a few weeks. Life has thrown many curveballs my way and our family's way, and we have a lot of changes, and it's been quite the journey. So we're riding a wave over here, riding a wave. And so I was sitting down this evening. Well, actually, I left the house. I went out and I'm like, okay, I need a glass of wine tonight. I'm going to go buy a bottle of wine. I'm going to get a bag of chips, wine and chips. I'm going to go get, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to drink this freaking glass of wine. And it just like life just hit me this evening. And then I sat back down to my desk again. The wine is in the fridge, the chips are in the drawer, and I haven't touched the wine and I haven't eaten the chips. So I'm like, I thought a much better way for me to spend my evening is to come in here and check in. If you notice, my walls are bare behind me. They're becoming barer behind me. All my paintings are down. I'm patching walls. I have to move. We have no place to move. We have to find a home. And we have to find a home by May the 1st, and we haven't found a home yet. Life is just that way. And I know we're not alone. I know we're not the only people. So I know there's many more like us, and I know everyone is going through something, and everyone has something happening, and the world feels like we are being shaken up. And part of that is tied into all of the energy that we have happening. We have so much energy, and we just had Venus go into retrograde. Um, and so, yeah, there is just so much that's happening. On top of that, the blessing of that is I am back to work. So I am back with my working with my one-on-one clients. My schedule is up. You can book. March still has some availability. I think I may have opened up April, but I do know March still has some availability. I do open up my schedule pretty much month to month. I don't go too far ahead. I don't like that. I don't like being a slave to my schedule. I did that for too many years. So it is only opened up a month ahead. But I want to check. So tell me how you all are. How's everybody going? Do you have anything new, good? What is your wins? What is your wins in your world right now? So what is your win? What is your positive? What is your upside? And what is going right? Share in the comments. I am going to share a little bit of the energy of what's happening. I've just been sitting here babbling, just waiting for people to join in. I do have an amazing course that has just recently started. We're just in the first month, and that is my mediumship mentorship program. It is absolutely, I am so in awe of the amazing number of people who have signed up and who have joined me in this course. It is a 6-month journey, and I'm so excited to be teaching it. I'm so excited each week for each class that goes out. It's just been a beautiful journey. And so, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm enjoying that. And so that's my win. That's my happy. Um, hello. Look at everyone. I just got accepted into paralegal certificate at CapU. Yay! Good for you. Congratulations. That's a big win. That's not a little win. That's a big win. Felicia, the snow is starting. The snow is starting to melt and the weather is getting milder. That's a win right now. Yes, absolutely. It sure is. It is here as well. I was in Newfoundland. It was cold and snowy and windy. And I came back to Alberta and it's like almost all the snow is gone and it's getting nice. I agree with you, Felicia. Mandy, my stuff is officially all out of that house. Traumatizing, going there to say the least. Yay, Mandy. I am so freaking proud of you. I'm so glad you've got that done and that you made that step, right? But it is a win. Exactly. As hard as that is, sometimes doing the hard things is the right thing. And even though it feels so, hard and like so sad in the moments and so traumatizing, you do know it's the right thing. And you're on the other side now, right? You're on the other side in a new journey. I'm so proud of you. Kristen said we had amazing weather today, that after work I was able to head to the park with my daughter. In all the darkness right now, we had found some light. Exactly. And so one thing I keep saying, Kristen, is there is so much, it's like people say, oh, the world is so dark. And I'm like, but the world is also so filled of light. And it's like, oh, there's so much anger. Yes, but there's also so much love. There's so much hate, but there's also so much love, right? And so as much as there's one, there's also equally as much of the other, and it is there. And so it's very easy to get caught up and get lost in that. And there's so much that we can so many things we can do to really find that light in our world. Liz, the sun is warm and the days are getting longer, right? I consider a huge win. Me too. Marie says the weather is warming up. Yes, going outside, though it doesn't take long. Yes, and so there is still ice. We still got to be slippery, but we can get outside. Yes, absolutely. Not a win, but got a haircut today. Kept thinking pixie cut, but I didn't feel I could handle that short. No, hairdresser messed up bad. Let's say I look like a peppermint patty. Oh, Carlene, I just got an image of that, right? It's just it. I mean, I know people used to always say it's just hair, and I say it's not just hair; it's our crown, and it is our crown, and maybe it's your opportunity to just find someone now that's going to just the right person to kind of give you an even nicer look, or when it grows down a little bit, it might be an amazing haircut for you. Uh, Oh, so Friday you are going to another hairdresser. I see it. Okay, so Friday you are going to another hairdresser. Good. And that and yeah, and so you'll get kind of two haircuts in 1 week, but she'll make you look so beautiful. Been doing a lot of work on myself, Jennifer says, and healing and feeling like I'm finding myself again. Lost myself for a long while. That is a massive win, Jennifer. That is so cool. I'm proud of you for doing that. Robinetta says the universe is forcing you out of your comfort zone in order to evolve. Go with the flow. It'll all work out. Yes, I know. So, Robinetta, that's exactly what I've been telling myself. I'm like, this is a vulnerable place again, and I've I have moved a lot in the last few years, and I really like this home, but my reason for taking everything off the walls was my beginning of just letting the house go and just saying, this is not my home. This is somebody else's home. And the next home is going to be my home because we are looking at buying our own home now. So it's just the process of buying. But I'm like, but the next home, nobody's going to be able to kick me out of, and that's what I keep saying. It's like it's just sometimes that it just catches up. Our humanness is just there, right? Danielle, the things with Matsy State have been calmed, which is a win in my world. Oh, that's a really good thing, Danielle. So yeah, yay! Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing your wins. It's so good to read those. It's so good. It's so good to see. It's so good to be here with everyone again. Um, I did have a few weeks that I got to spend back in Newfoundland, and I got to spend time with my grandbabies. That is a win. They are something else. They're so funny. And when I first seen my granddaughter, I've changed. I ran out of my perfume. So I wear this natural perfume that Lindsay Burt here. It's sold at their Treaty Chorus store in Drumheller, and I ran out. And so I don't even know what I was wearing. But my granddaughter says to me, you don't smell the same, that you don't smell right. That's not the same smell, Nana. Why do you not smell like you? Why do you not smell like you? And she hasn't seen me since like October. And but yet she's like, you don't smell like you. They remember every little thing about us. When we are their world and they adore us, it's like they they just every you don't realize the things about you that they are so that they remember. And my granddaughters kind of idolize me. So I did say it right. I know I've got it down pat now. I know how to say the store now. I had to get that through my head because I was determined to say it another way. Um, and so, yeah, I did get to see my grandbabies. But where are we today? Well, we just had Venus go into retrograde. We are still in Pisces season. We have a lot of Aries energy showing up. My monthly energy update. My monthly energy update is now available on YouTube for March, so you can go listen to that one. It has a lot of stuff in it. It's kind of really full. I think it's like 40 minutes long. So you can go check out the March monthly energy update. There was a lot of chatter happening in there and a lot of talk. Well, thank you for stopping in, and please come back again. I came back with more of a Nova Scotia accent. No, Newfoundland accent. Newfoundland accent. I brought back the accent with me. I freshened up on it. I went home to freshen up on the Newfoundland accent. But when I was in Newfoundland, someone said, "Oh, I didn't realize you were from here." So yeah. Uh, oh, March is a doozy. So March is going to be a doozy. April is a doozy. We're moving into eclipse season. Like, this is crazy, crazy, crazy energy. And also there's a lot of imitation, a lot of illusiony things happening, but it's really the veils of illusions are falling. And I was just kind of chuckling, and I'm not someone who gets so invested in politics. That's not my area. Because I'm like, there's always something beyond all of that, and none of those people are they're like, the everyday people matter way more to me than that world. And so, but but there was just like, I'm like, it's so easy to the love hate game. The one day someone's a hero, the next day they're not. Like, it's just a flip flop. The love hate, it's like, there is such a the energy is just so kind of, there's like this volatile energy, and it's very volatile in different areas. But it is, we're just going through such massive shifts and changes that are happening. And we're in Canada. I'm not in United States. um and I'm just like, um just it's like eyes wide open, perceptions, what's beyond, look beyond, see beyond. It is something that is so important. And as a medium, I spend my life looking beyond, seeing beyond. There's always more to a story. There's more than one truth. There's many truths. And it's like being able to look and see. There is so many perspectives and so many views and so many things that are happening. But it's so easy to get stuck in a trap of only one perspective and only one view and only one way. And that's where we get stuck. And that's where we then find it hard to be able to change, or find it hard to be able to listen to other thoughts or views or opinions. And in the world that I work in, and I work with people from all over the world, and I work with people that probably got a whole lot of different perspectives and views. But it's like everyone is entitled to those, right? And so there's just so much going on. Hey, did I just lose connection for a second? It looks like I might have just lost connection. I hope I'm still here. But yeah, there's a doozy. It's a doozy of energy out there. So I just quickly want to come in, and I'm just going to pull a card. I'm going to pull a couple cards for the energy. So this is going to be a collective. I will come back in another day and do some readings, but right now I'm just going to do a collective reading. I just wanted to check in with everyone. I'm good. Okay. And to also, bring in some healing energy so we can send some healing out into the world, see things cleared, resolved. I tell you who's not stressed. I'm going to show you who's not stressed. Like, look at that. You see that? Look at that. That's my good old Phoebe girl. She is not stressed about nothing. She got the dog drove, so Jazz is now having to sit on the floor, and she's in the bed, and Jazzy is like over there sleeping on the floor. They're not stressed at all. I don't think I got the camera right. Hold on. Okay. Let's see where our energy is. Taking steps. So I'm actually using the Quantum Oracles, which is Sandra Ann Taylor. And the Quantum Oracle is the first card out, is about intentions. And it is about being intentional. And when we get intentional about our lives, is that we begin to take steps. And when we're watching everything happening in the world, is either which way, we are taking steps towards something new. We're taking steps towards change. We may not like the change. We may not be happy with the change, but change is happening with or without us. And so this card is just speaking to us in a way of about the movement and about how we are in such a time of where it is where we have to take steps and we have to make changes, and where, when we want the world to change, what is it that we need to change in our own lives as well? And so, or where do we need to change? Where does our perspective have to change? What is it, our views have to change? Whatever that may be, is that if we get stuck in the mud, we stay in the mud. If we get stuck in the mud and we stay there complaining and we're just sitting there, then we get nowhere. If we only keep looking into the future, looking into somebody else's life and going and being jealous or envious that they're getting ahead, but we're not getting ahead, what do we need to do to get ahead? It's like it's the story of accountability and responsibility. And we are responsible for our own joy, for our own happiness. It depends on us. We have to make those choices. And so taking steps is what this energy is about. And so today we have this, I think the moon is in Taurus. I thought it was in Gemini earlier, but it's not there yet. I was a day ahead of myself, or a couple days ahead. I don't think it's there yet. But with all of this energy that we have, it is really guiding us to start taking action steps. And sometimes we have to start taking action steps that maybe we don't want to take, but we have to take them. And it doesn't mean that everything is going to be resolved, but it means that we have to have faith. So just because we can't see, the things we're hoping for, looking for, we just keep moving towards that which we seek, that which we want. But if we just sit there and keep thinking, oh, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's going to happen, the world's going to go to shit, so why would I want to do anything? Then your world goes to shit, right? Like everything starts to fall apart. And so it is guiding us to really look at how we are approaching things, and about setting those intentions and having some clear intentions about what role we play, and the roles that we have to take. And we all have to play a role, we all have to take steps, and we all have to be a willing participant in moving forward. And that energy is kind of really being thrown at us right now. Now, with the Venus being in retrograde, it means that things of the past in our relationships, including the relationship with self, may come revisiting again. You may get to see it again, but retrograde is not a bad thing. Retrograde can also be a really good time for revisiting things in our lives. It can also be a really good time to slow down and take stock of what matters in our lives. What is the most important? What do we value? What do we, what part of our relationships are we kind of disconnecting from, or losing touch with, because we've been so caught up and so absorbed in what's happening out in the world that we forgot about the relationships that are around us and what is most important. So this is coming up for us, and it's coming up to tell us that we are going to really feel like what's happening in our todays may feel like a backwards, like it's like, oh, well, I've already been there, I've gone through that before. No, you went through a different situation, you went through a different experience. Now this was a new experience, and this experience has similarity to a past experience, which means you have the tools that you need to help guide you through. You have wisdom from the past that can help assist you in some way moving forward. This is our like in this moment card, decrease, the drought. So this is cycles. Everything goes in cycles. Everything, right? Everything is in cycles. And so the decrease, or the drought, or is the sense of when things feel like it is not moving, or feels like it's stagnant, which takes us back to that mud story, is that there's always going to be a time of when life slows down. And when things slow down, or things are not in full bloom, it's like the seasons. The tree doesn't bloom all year round. If the tree was always in bloom, it would never be able to bear fruit, right? How do we ever get the fruit if the tree is always in bloom? Even though the blooms are beautiful, the trees can't always be in bloom. It has to go through its cycles. And that's like us in life, is that we are in cycles. And so, whatever is the struggle today, whatever is that is challenging you today, is reminding yourself this too is temporary. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And it will pass. And we do, and time will move us forward, move us forward. Now, I want to kind of put a little disclaimer thing in here and just say, this is not when someone is going through a grief or a loss, don't we're not discounting that situation. We're talking we're talking collective energy here. We're talking about our everyday events, life events. And whenever we're even going through our grief changes, it evolves. And life, of course, keeps us moving forward in some way. But this is referring to our lives. This is about those struggles we're facing, those hard times, those changes. I'm in some of those. There is these moments in our lives that just disrupts us, turns us upside down. And then we're like, well, how do I go on? And where do I go from here? Well, if you were to look at the past, if you were to look at the past, you've been there before. You've been there before. We've been there before. And we've made it. We've made it. And so this version of who we are today ultimately is very aware that we have made it. Right? Like I know I've been in these situations where I've had to been, a change all of a sudden comes up and I have to make a change in life and get moved and things have to happen. And yes, you do get that little panic moment. Yes, you have those little moments that arise about it. But if we were to check in with the past, right? If we were to check in with the past, I know that a place always shows up. I always end up in the right place. There's always somewhere to go. There's always that opportunities are there. It's just getting to the opportunity. But if you don't take action steps towards finding those places just don't show up. Miracles require actions. And if we want to see miracles in our lives, we have to take actions to those miracles appearing. But we also have to know that every day is not going to be sunshine and freaking rainbows. It's just not going to be. And that there's life is going to reveal to us life. We're all going to have to go through those experiences in life. And so this is a time of cycles, and we are all in a cycle, and we're all going through those cycles of change. And so wherever your cycle is today, whatever that is, that this, just remind yourself, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And there's something better waiting for me. There's something better. There's a journey. The universe kind of spits us out when it's done with us in a certain area. And so when it's done with us, we get spit out, and then we have to and then we have to kind of stand up again. It humbles us. We stand back up again and we begin again. But it's telling us, if we don't make the move when we need to make the move, if we don't make the changes when we need to make the changes will reveal itself to us regardless, because we've had all the notice and all the heads up that it's coming, or that there's something of a change that is needed to be made. And if we don't make the move, then life just goes play, and there you are. And so, yeah. And so we are getting closer to spring, winter season. We're in the end part of winter season, and we are getting ready for spring. And as we get ready to come into spring and come into April, April is actually considered the new year in astrology. It is when the new cycles begin again. It is in the first house. And so it's when Pisces is the 12th. And then so Pisces is the 12th house. Aries is the first house. So it is the end of the year of an astrology. So it is the beginning of it. The new year actually begins, and the new beginnings begin in April. And so this is where we are in a stage of endings. And so this cycle, and when spring comes, all those seeds that would have been planted, all that's been underneath The dirt is now preparing to break through the ground and to bring new life. And so new life is beginning to unfold, and we're going to see new life coming in. I believe that's what the universe did to me. It pushed me to do what needed to be done, because I was dragging my feet. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Rachel's been struggling with relapse, but I have the tools. Yes, yes, you do. And you can do it. You can do it. So I know my friend is here. I know Liz is here. So Liz, I said something to Liz. Liz said something to me yesterday, and I kind of give like a smart little remark back to her. And I just got to look it up because I chuckled about it. And then I wrote it in my notes and I saved it. And it was something like, sometimes, it's really hard to do things, like it's really hard to be positive, or it's really hard to get things done that need to get done. It's really hard to just be happy, or it's really hard. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's a practice, not hard. It's just a choice. It's a practice, not hard. It's just a choice. And sometimes we are making the choice not to, because everything does. And this is where accountability comes back in, and holding ourselves. I choose not to, right? I'm choosing to make it harder. I'm choosing not to do what I know I need to do. I'm choosing that. But what part of me? So what part of me is making that choice? What part of me is choosing? What part of me is falling backwards? What part of me is falling back into a habit? What version of me? What version of me? What version is believing that I'm not strong enough? What version is believing I don't have enough? What version is believing, right? What version is allowing me to stay stuck in the mud? What version of me? Because what story and what emotion and what memories are attached to that? And why is that holding me there? Why is that holding me there? And I always say everything is a choice. We all like, and for 80/20, right? 80/20 rule, that everything is a choice. We get a choice to what we believe, we get a choice to what we do. And it's like, and so it's hard because we keep allowing it to get harder, right? If we stay in the mud, and then the mud goes, and then sun shines on the mud, and the water all absorbs and dries up, then it becomes hard and it's like clay, and then yeah, you're really stuck. And if we don't ask for the support, or we don't get ourselves pulled up and out, then there we go. That's where we'll be. I'm choosing to be grateful. I love that, Brenda. Yeah, I'm choosing to be grateful. And that's such a truth. I can't even remember what my word was for this year. Um, yes, that's real. Also perspectives. Yes, absolutely perspectives. Perspective is everything. Perceptions and perspectives is important. Let's see what the next card got for us. See, this was so much better than getting myself a glass of wine and a bowl of chips. So much better. Phoebe, let Jazzy lay down with you. Kelly, I want to come back as a dog and have you as an owner. have an owner like you. Yeah, my animals are a little spoiled. All right. Here's our future card. Here is moving forward card. And so this card is a creative endeavor, and it is a blank canvas. So what is ahead of us is a blank canvas. We get to paint what is on that blank canvas. Of course, life is going to give us the curveballs and things, but for the most part, what do we want to see on that blank canvas? If you were to get to, right, is if we're here to live and we're here to be alive. and we're here to live for those who didn't get the opportunity to live. And so if to live their full life. But if we're here to live our full life, and we're here to live for all of those who comes back to tell us the shoulda, coulda, woulda stories. If we are here to live all of that, then what would we put on that canvas? What goes on that canvas? And so this is our life is a creative endeavor. And our creative side of our mind really gets so neglected too often, especially when we become adults and not children. And children lose that creative side as they get a little bit older, because they got to be grown up. They got to be, it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to smarten up. It's time for you to stop playing and get to work. Time to stop playing and get to work. What a bullshit story that is. It's time for you to do this. And so it's time for you to get on the clock, and you got to be on time, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And the to-do list gets so big, and we forget about the creative side of ourselves. And our lives is in creation. And we are here as a masterpiece, and you get to create the masterpiece, and you are the masterpiece of your own creation. So what are you creating? What are you creating? What are you allowing? What do you keep doing? What do you keep repeating? Those things are on us. And that's hard for some people to accept that. But I wrote the books because it was about taking ownership and accountability, and then giving back where what wasn't ours, and kind of moving beyond. We can't fix the world. We can't fix the people of the world. We can't fix the shit they keep repeating, because this stuff keeps repeating over and over and over and over again, and it gets supported. So if we're going to break cycles, and we're going to break habits and break patterns, probably the beginning of that is to recognize that it's up to us to not to become a part of what keeps getting repeated, and do something new, and create that new in our lives, and be that new in our lives and in our world wherever we can. And so looking at all three of these cards is that, yes, it's so easy to see this as a time of lack of or depletion, but this is the end on our way to a new beginning, on our way back up. There is life, there is abundance, there's all things that we need that is really truly still here. And it requires us to live intentionally and set those intentions that align to our soul, and to get on board with taking those action steps and learning to listen to our soul. Awesome. I'm buying a boat and living in Tofino. I'm going to be the younger village crazy grandmother, like Moana. That's what I'm like. That's funny. Yeah. Why not do it? Why not? I remember I went to Austin, Texas in 2018, and it was to a Call It Baron Reed event. And somebody tried to kidnap me. Somebody tried to kidnap me from the airport, but I survived. I made it through that. And then, but at the event, Doug was, who was Colette's right-hand man at the time, always by her side, and he's since passed. And Doug had come in and he said, I had this dream, and I had this dream about this Moana, and she's from an island, and something about her kind of having to leave her island and leave home, and tears started to fall down my eyes. And as he started to talk about all these messages he was getting in his dream, it was actually about me. And I'm like standing up, like crying. I'm like, I'm Moana. I'm the Moana. And it was a lot of messages around me in the time of when I had my treaty card had been taken away, and I had lost my federal treaty card, and like robbed from us and us as women in my family. And it was just like so many things. And it was just like, but it was Moana. And so when you just posted that, I just start laughing, because I'm like, that's true. And so there is those kids movies, those kids movies are adult movies as well. And so when you learn about archetypes, and that you see the hero's journey and the dark night, the soul journey, and all the roles that we play, is that we get to be all of those characters. And that at some phase, some place in our time in our lives, I mean, we get to be that crone energy. And that crone energy is often, we can often step into that by looking at the history of all the things we've made it through, all the things we have overcome, all the things that told us that would have told us that it was going to destroy us, it was going to take us all the way down, but yet we're still standing. So the proof in the pudding is that you're still here. And I'm going to refer this back to who, Rachel, I think it was, that was speaking about, a bit of a relapse. And I'm like, but you're still here. And so you're still here to make that change. And we're still here to bring about that change. And that is where your proof is. Your proof is in the mirror. And instead of looking into the reflection of someone else and what someone else got and where they are and what they're doing, look into your reflection and remind yourself that who got you here? Who was it? What was it that got you here? And that this person that you are deserves to be treated sometimes better than we have been treated. Deserves some softer, kinder words. Because it's there is something inside of you that keeps fighting for you. There's something inside of you that keeps standing up. There's something inside of you, and that's our spark of our divine. And so we are this constant evolving masterpiece, but you have a blank canvas, and it's up to you what that picture looks like. And it can be messy, it can be unorganized, it can be anything, but it's you that has to be happy with it. It's you that has to be content with it. It's you that has to be happy, and not about making everyone love you. It's not about making everyone else happy. It's about, am I truly, honestly, is my truest version of myself thriving, happy, filled full of joy, and feeling like I'm living my best life, and whatever that best life looks like. And so, yeah, you can do it. You can do this. So I'm going to end with one last card, which I'm going to go to the Everyday Goddesses for. Encouraging card and a great reminder to keep dreams alive and go for the possibilities. Yes. Divine timing, the topic of my day. You're welcome. And hello to everyone who's been joining in and saying hello. Hello. So nice to see you all. My daughter sent me a video tonight. They went for a pancake supper at the United Church in Buckens in Newfoundland. And it's a video, and all I can hear is, "Can you hear me?" And it's like, literally, it's like my daughter standing at the back of the church. There's nobody in the church. Like, I can't see anybody but hear my daughter and her friend. And she's going, and I can hear this little voice going, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And then my daughter zooms in, and my little 2-year-old granddaughter's head is just like coming over the back part of where I guess the choir sits in the church. And you just see this little head just do across the front and just like peeks up over the altar, looking over. And it's like, there's the voice, right? It's like, there's the voice coming in. And I just start laughing. And I'm like, that's exactly how the divine is trying to get our attention. They're going, "Can you hear me? You're not listening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" It's like, ah. So here's an impossible story for you. While I'm waiting for this card to come out, here's an impossible story for you. So my little granddaughters are 4 and 2. Sadie, the 4-year-old, has been driving. They got a snowmobile for Christmas. My brother and his wife bought them a new snowmobile for Christmas. So they get on the snowmobile, and the 4-year-old is just driving away. The 2-year-old's kind of looking at it like, there's no way she's ever getting on that. The more she has been watching her sister drive, she keeps saying, "I can do that. I can do that. I want to do that." And we're like, "You sure?" "Yep." So we get her out and on the lake, like one of the frozen little lakes. And her sister wants to get off, and she says, I drive. She's 2. She hops on the snowmobile. She gets herself all hooked up. She gets herself hooked up to her little emergency cord, her little pull cord, and she just starts driving. and instantly it's like she just knows what to do besides turning, of course, but she can get her little thumb and she just pushes. And she looks over and she goes, this way. And we're like, yes, just keep going straight ahead. Okay, okay. And you could just see the pride. She was so proud of herself, but she's two. How many times do we as adults just say, oh, that's too intimidating? I'm scared to do that. But she has she has no thoughts that has come from anyone else that has told her she can't do it. And all she knows in her head is that her sister can do it, so she can do it. And she hopped on that snowmobile and just start cruising. And she's been, I mean, one thing that even a 4-year-old can drive a snowmobile, but she's been cruising on that snowmobile. Our problem is that throughout our lives, we have so many thoughts that became words from other people and from ourselves that has told us we couldn't, told us what we could be, told us who we couldn't be, told us all of these stories and all these narratives. And the problem is we believe them to be true. What if they were never true? And those little kids just have the freedom to just trust and do and give it a go, give it a try. And sometimes we're just afraid of taking those first steps because we're afraid of messing up. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of being made fun of. Doubt, fears, insecurities that stands in our way. And so the final card that is being given to us is the Stargazer, Frida. And this is from my deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, which are available on the website. And it's card number 4. And it's the 4th card out. She is on top of the world. And of course, there's whales. There's whales in the sky. And that's not impossible. And that is real. And there is whales in the sky. And there's whales in the water. And it's in the constellations. It's in the stars. And so everything that you may believe is impossible in your head may be possible. And because it has already been written in the stars for you. Our destiny, our life is often already written in the stars. It's just that we start listening to and looking into this human existence, this human world, and we stop believing in the magic and stop believing in the miracles. And we only take action towards the direction we're told we can go or what is into the limits and not beyond the limits. And that is the beauty of being able to see beyond, because there's more to see. And she is on top of the world. She has everything that she needs. There could be some stinky little energy back here. There is a past back here. We all have this evidence, but we also have this guiding light. And this beautiful guiding light is always that little spark of hope that believes in us and that exists within us, that sometimes when our head and our heart is telling us no and is not believing in us, but this little spark, this piece of divinity that lives within us, this soul essence of us truly believes in us. And it's asking of us to keep going, even if we're a little bit afraid. Keep going. And so this is the message. This is the cards. And yeah, it might be a little bit bumpy and rocky moving through March and a little bit of April, but that's okay. It'll just be some bumps in the road, but it'll be a journey worth taking, because what's on the other side is going to be a little more magical, I do believe. So don't let yourself get all caught up and get overly invested in what is happening in the world, because that too is going to change. And so yeah, life just changes. And that's what we have for ourselves. That's what we have for ourselves. That's what the guides have for you for today. Stacy, we listen to the mean things people say and decide to let them guide us and not believe in ourselves, right? Slowly learning not to listen to others. Yeah. It's like, why does those voices get to have so much power over you? But the voice that's encouraging and inspiring you is the voice you turn down. Right? We believe, it's too often you believe the voice that's the negative instead of the voice that says, my God, it's so, you're so beautiful. You're so nice. You're so lovely to be around, or you're so kind. And you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And over here, somebody says to you, oh, you're so this or you're so that. And you go, oh my God, am I really? So then you're always trying to make up for something you're not. and somebody you're not, which is such a bullshit story. Yeah. Sing your soul song. Exactly. And get to know your soul. That's a massive one. I teach that in everything that I do. It's about, it's one thing for me to be able to get messages from others for other people, but there was nothing any more powerful than when I began to connect to my own soul and really listen to my soul, listen to the shadow, and to really stop all the talk and stop talking and really start listening and really sit in that place of humility. It's our greatest teacher, and it really teaches us a lot about ourselves and a lot about who we are. And we have so many surprise packages in there inside that the soul knows about us, because the soul is way older and wiser. This human is pretty freaking young, right? And you only got this one lifetime as this human, but the soul guiding us and the soul's wisdom and advice, when you can get to that, is magical. Truly is. Yeah. We give ourselves permission, and it's just the craziest of thing, right? It's like it's the definition of madness, that we actually believe that, and we'll actually try to improve based on that rather than dismissing that and going to the positive. Yeah. And I always go from one side to the other, right? It's like consulting with one side and then finding our middle and learning to live from the middle, learning to live from this middle place within ourselves. And yeah, it's not always easy, but it's so worth the journey. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for stopping in. I so appreciate everyone who takes their time out to be here with me, to listen, to take part in any of my classes, my courses, to just come in here, whether it's in my lives or it's listening to the YouTube videos, March energy updates available. I appreciate each and every one of you. And even coming to my live events, I so appreciate all the love and support always. I don't take this for granted. Um, I am going to be posting an event. I will be doing an online mediumship group reading, a gallery reading online. I'm going to actually do two. I'm just figuring out the dates. So I'm going to do one, which will be which will be later in the evening, because of my people that work in this area. And then I'm going to do another one that I can do a little bit earlier for the people, in other time zones, such as like on the East Coast. So I'm going to find two dates that work, and I'm going to make those posts so that you can sign up for either one. But I'll be having two online gallery readings. And so, yeah, thank you so much. Love you, and have a beautiful evening. Bye-bye.